The time has come for another Savannah Monitor update. I've now done 3 videos on her, and I realized looking back, looking at the series of monitor videos, it went from, I got my dream animal, to, do I regret getting this animal? To just, I'm gonna build it in Enclosure now, and here we are again. The title is probably not much better. So yeah, as throughout the videos you can kind of see my enthusiasm maybe dropping just a little bit throughout, you know. It's been interesting, as you know if you've been watching videos. By far, probably the most commonly asked question is, how much money have you spent on this animal so far? Well, the grand total stands at $1,200. What else can you get with $1,200? You can get 308 Starbucks Frappuccinos, an RTX 2080 Ti, or 115,000 V-Bucks. My point in mentioning that is not to flex my V-Bucks, but just to show that animals that you get for 20 bucks off Craigslist or free off the side of the street from some vendor oftentimes ends up costing you more than you expected. I was hoping it would cost less than at least less than 1,000, hopefully like 500 or less, but I underestimated how much money she can consume. Why has it costed this much money, and what else has gone on, or what else has happened since the last video? Well, the Enclosure kind of fell apart. I don't blame myself or the monitor, I blame Home Depot. I'll get to that in a minute. Also, the monitor, she does have parasites, as some of you expected. Savannah monitors are pretty much always imported, so any you see, they're just imported from, I forgot where they're from, the Savannah. Now, there's lots of debates on just this in general, but the main reason that I'm bringing it up is because wild-caught animals very frequently have parasites, because parasites are kind of everywhere. They get in the animals all sorts of ways. So I had to bring her in. I got blood work done, a fecal, just like a physical where they just like squeezed her stomach, and then got the actual medication to get rid of the parasites. I was told that they are a parasite related or similar to hookworm. I don't know why they didn't tell me the actual name, but similar to hookworm is what she has. So now I just have to syringe feed her some like liquid and get her to swallow it every couple weeks. I filmed that. That was an interesting task. It actually wasn't as bad as I expected. It only took like 10 minutes. And you basically just had to like anger her so she would open her mouth, and then I could just squeeze it in the back of her throat. And we were done. So hopefully the parasites will be all gone soon, which means that she might actually start growing like a normal monitor, because she's a tiny thing. Also, I forgot to mention I did not buy her directly like wild caught. Like I said, I knew it was gonna be work, but it's been quite a bit. And I keep looking in this direction because that's where the Enclosure is. So, why does the Enclosure look horrendous? Well, pretty much everything's fine. I still have the plant that was in there, I still have the lighting, I still have the thing around it, but now there's a 40-gallon sitting in it with her in it. So technically she's still in the big Enclosure, she's just in another Enclosure inside that Enclosure. So she's in a house in my house. So basically, we started having a bit of a fly problem in the reptile room. They were like little teeny tiny gnat style things on lots of Enclosures, so we started completely deep cleaning a lot of Enclosures. So basically anything with dirt that had flies, we ended up deep cleaning. And then hey, what do you know? Check out the monitor Enclosure a little closely, dig up the dirt, and I'm just getting kind of like chills right now. There were just so many flies everywhere. Turns out, cool, my organic substrate from Home Depot was infested with bugs. So the reason I got organic soil, it was Nature Care organic garden soil, topsoil, I think, which is exactly what people said to get, at least get like organic topsoil, which you can get from Home Depot. But now I can't, because it's filled with bugs, and it's really grossing me out and creeping me out. It all got bagged up, shoved it all in behind my house, and now there's just like lots of soil back there filled with bugs. But the fly problem's gone. That's nice. Like, the room's all clean now. I don't feel like I'm living in a hoarder's home. Just a pet hoarder's home. That's fine, right? But I have yet to find a solution to what to actually use for substrate. They tend to be burrowing animals, and they need a lot of soil for burrowing, for humidity, and ideally for the plants. So if I wanted to do like all coconut fiber, that'd be a lot of coconut fiber. it's possible, but I mean, can we at least stick under $2,000? That would be nice. I don't want to have to buy that much. So, solutions? Toss them at me. I could try other soils. The problem is usually when you use like any type of soil, people say you should treat it, or pretty much anything, which is most easiest doing heat treating, so sticking it in the oven. But when I have over 100 pounds of soil, it doesn't, yeah, I can't get it in there. It would take days of just shuffling dirt in and out 24/7 to get all that dirt treated and all the bugs killed. So thankfully I didn't spend too much on the soil. I spent maybe $50 to $100, which is still a lot of Starbucks. Now that needs a new solution. Once that's gone, she was actually staying pretty contained. If you didn't know, we had a couple issues keeping her contained at first because my DIY netting had like a couple issues, but I'm not even using that anymore. And there was a full working top on this. The temperatures were good, everything was fine. Even the humidity, it really, like, it took a lot of spraying, but I was thinking of installing something like a auto mister anyway, because it does dry out in the winter pretty quickly. But now that's not even the main problem, it's just the fact that I don't have any substrate in there. So she would just be like living in a tin can if I take her out of that sad little 40. So again, she's back to her favorite little 40. It's temporary. Now let's get back to Bonnibel and her parasites and stuff. So yeah, basically she grew like not at all, but her appetite was still really good and all that. So we got the blood work done, and I tried to get a fecal ready for the vet, but she would not poop. She poops all the time. Literally just pick her up and she just shoots it all out all over you every single time. But she just refused. I don't understand. I'm still kind of creeped out by the fact that she just like knew that I needed her poop this one time, so she just wasn't gonna give it to me. So then I brought her to the vet. They tried like poking her and baiting her again. Still didn't work. I stayed at the vet for an hour waiting. So they're like, here, take this cup, which I don't have because it's at the vet now. And they're like, put poop in it when she poops. I gave her 2 baths a day and handled her twice a day, just trying to get her to poop for a week. And finally, after a week, she actually pooped. We celebrated. It was amazing. Rushed the poop to the vet right before they closed. And then they got back. And the blood work before that, they said that she was anemic, and it was a sign of parasites, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then the fecal gave like the actual type of meds that we need to fix it. So she's being treated now. And again, hopefully that means that she will be all fixed up. Still, I'm kind of annoyed because the vet gave me a bunch of info on how to care for them, which was completely opposite from everything I've ever been told by any Savannah monitor keeper. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to, oh no, what if they're watching this? I'm gonna have to ignore all of the advice that the vet gave me with care, because none of it made any sense. Yeah, I'm literally, like, the one thing you don't want to do, like if you have a human child, is like go to the doctor, get the doctor's advice, and then ignore that advice and use the advice you find in a Facebook mom group. That is what you want to do with reptiles sometimes, it looks like. Savannah monitor Facebook groups have had more valuable information than, unfortunately, licensed people. So, Enclosure, yeah, it sounded like there were a lot of issues, but it's really not that bad. It's just substrate. Once that's good, the new enclosure will be fine. I'm not going to build another enclosure. Stop telling me to build a 4x8x4. This is literally almost identical in square footage. Whether she likes it or not is to be determined because she hasn't gotten much time in it. But I'm sorry, I'm going with this enclosure, at least for now. If I'm like really desperate, I can get rid of it, or give it to another animal, and then if she ends up just being like a 6-inch lizard forever, then we could put something else in that enclosure. Put a leopard gecko in it. I mean, I could live in it. Literally, my bed would fit in this, and then her parasites should hopefully be all fixed up. And I guess that's about it. I don't like feel the desperate need to like get rid of her or whatever, because it has been definitely more manageable, especially once that enclosure was all done. And now that we actually know the root of the source of why she is not growing. Still don't know why she like hates everybody, even though it's been a year of almost daily work with her, trying tons of techniques. I've really run out of techniques at this point, but that's kind of the least of my concerns right now. I just want to get a working enclosure and have a parasite-free child. So that's Bonnibel. This was a pretty simple video, just want to give you an update on that. I would give you an update on the cactus, but it's not good. Hold on, this is completely unrelated, but I love how I did a Q&A where I kind of said that I don't like crested geckos, and I was like, people are gonna kill me for this. And everyone was like, oh, it's okay. I mean, you're just expressing your opinion, that's fine. But then when I called a gravy boat a teapot, everybody went mentally insane and wanted to kill me. I thought it said teapot on the bottom, but it said TEPCO. I can't read. Okay, thanks for watching. Buy my clothing. Goodbye.